There we go. That's going to be, let me do something too. All right. The when they raise the interest rate to quarter point tomorrow, it's supposed to go from 525 to 550. If they raise it tomorrow, then that's going to be it's going to make up a lot of this pull down. This right in here. We might come up and see this buy side. I say might. We should. So possibly even this one. In fact, I'm gonna move it up to here. All right. Especially if we get into here to, over the next couple of days, we'll definitely probably take out this guy and be back to the positive for the year. I think that quarter point is going to be welcomed by the dollar, not by the markets. So I'd like to see the markets, given this pattern on the NQ, this is a pretty bullish pattern to me. I'd like to see the markets actually have a pretty good day. And then when the interest rate goes up tomorrow, 2:00 in the afternoon, maybe we'll have another good day. And then we'll only give up basically this area. So I'd hate for the markets to just slam after recovering so much. So but I feel like today is going to be, you might have a little slight pullback here, but I think we're going to make a Tuesday high for this week. So I'd like to see the markets have a really good day. All right, drop into a 1 hour on the dollar and just see how it continues to make new highs. This was the news from the PPI pound and euro yesterday. We didn't give all of it back on that gain, and then the rest of the day we just kind of grinded back to the top side. Overnight, we just consolidated pretty much and broke out again during London. It looked like there was some German info, but I mean, not a whole lot around the 4:00 hour. I don't think this is news driven. I think this is just dollar strength. So, yeah. So if the dollar is going to continue to be strong, like I said, I'm just going to hope that today, the news is neutral for the dollar, and then it gives the time for the markets to kind of start recovering a little bit before the quarter point raise in interest rates, because I fully expect the quarter point raise in the interest rates on the dollar on Tuesday to really crush the market for a good day. And then let's see, the Euro monetary policy statement is Thursday morning. That might settle the dollar a little bit. And then GDP for us is right after that. So we'll see. Let's drop into an hourly on the NQ real quick. Then I'll go to the ES. Yeah, this right here is just really nice. Consolidation yesterday after this big move down. But now we have already made new highs. See if we can't get back above this mean threshold and hold. We got another one up here we got to mess with. But this structure right here is what I'm eyeballing. I'm hoping we don't range today. I'll play the markets the way as much as I can for one, but I'm hoping we don't range today. Morning, Josh. Good evening, Josh. Sorry about that. Yeah, fully expect this to hold somewhere in here and then continue. Take this out, and then this is going to be the next battleground right in there. Let's go ahead and move over to the ES. ES is yesterday showed more strength. Like I said, this area was the area I talked about last week. Price to get down into. This would be the area in which options on the SPY would have been nice. Option calls on the SPYs would have been nice. So if we had a weighted, and took like 30-day options out, once it got into this area, this would have been pretty solid. Pretty nice move. I don't know how much more it's got, to be honest. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to extend this out. We've made it to this structure line, which is where I want NQ to be. But this does not look as good as the NQ. So we go to a 4-hour chart on it. We're stuck right around this shoulders of the head and shoulders that made it drop right in there. So I don't see this being a very productive day for the ES, or any of them. I mean, they could surprise me, but a little bit of a pullback into the median this morning, and then we'll see if we can't make it back up to that structure. See what we can do with this structure right here. But I don't think it's going to be any kind of breakout or even a loss. I don't think it'll be anything like that. I think we're going to give a little bit this morning and then grind maybe most of the day. I don't think the news is going to be a big driver today. It's just consumer confidence and manufacturing. I don't think it's going to be a big driver today, especially with everything that's coming out Wednesday and Thursday. Friday we got PCE and stuff, but Wednesday and Thursday news with all of the monetary policy statements and stuff coming out as well, hours, euro, and then also the Japanese, the yen is supposed to be coming out at some point. They've got it tentative, so it could come out, I don't know, next Thursday or something. They usually do stupid stuff like that. I don't know how much that's going to affect the dollar or how it's going to affect the dollar and stuff. So I would love to see the market start pricing higher for the initial drop on the funds rate. So that's what I would love to see. But I don't think that we're going to get this. I don't think we're going to get a huge breakout. I think we're going to, again, give back a little bit to the median this morning, maybe even wick a little bit below that on a lower time frame. We'll look at this area and see if there's something there. And then I think we grind a little bit higher today. But I think that's what today's going to be. I don't think we might not get out of this range right here. Let's drop into the 15. Take that one off. That's a pretty powerful spot. Right, we put in the Monday high, come back, touch the median, and bounced off of it pretty solidly. That was yesterday afternoon. I would assume VWAP or something is right around in there. Yeah, there you go. And then immediately rejected back up. Let's take that off real quick. Let's see where the London highs and stuff are. All right, so Asia lows down here. London lows right there. We already tapped it once. Looks like we're coming back for it. Let me get this off. London highs. So might be the high of the day. Right here. The midnight is the exact London low as well. That's what the true day open is. And then Asia low is right around that mean threshold. So grind back down. I think we wick into this median, hold it, and probably come back up to the opening of the day. I really think we just finish inside between the median and this. Oh, no problem, Josh. But yeah, I really think we stay right in here. We just with the ES. I think the NQ again gives back a little bit, not as much as the ES. And then, well, I don't know, the NQ's it could easily come all the way back down into here, but I would assume somewhere around the daily open or the midnight, and then we come back up. This may be the high for the NQ, but I don't know, a little bit stronger out of that move. They both made highs with it, so not much of a divergence. Yeah, I mean, overall, the hope is that we move higher, but I think we're giving up a little bit too much this morning, and then we just kind of grind back into this area. So possibly the high on the NQ as well. That's just what it looks like technically. It's a big news week, and you know the big action yesterday was situated around the news, and then the rest of it ranged. The good thing is, like I said, the range was big enough to be profitable if you were buying and selling in the right places. Golly, I don't know why it does that. Same way with ES. Big news move, big drop in the afternoon, but yeah, just kind of grinded higher. Can't get there. We go. The Zoom panel up here at the top that y'all can't see won't go away. Usually it kind of disappears into the top of the screen, but this morning it's not doing it. And I don't know why not. Anyways, I'm able to move around. All right, I'm going to take this off super quick. I'm going to the Euro real fast. Uh, Gave that up, but we did range after the dollar was that strong, and again, dollar being stronger, we're gonna. This is the area for the Dixie and the Euro that I'm looking for. So shorts on the dollar. I think the dollar's going to remain have some strength. So the news comes out negative. I don't think it's going to make the Euro slam higher. It might just range, grind a little bit, and then work back down. But this is the area that I've got my eyes on. Yeah. So how did I mean? I looked at a lot of the trades yesterday. It seemed like everybody was just crushing it. I hated that I couldn't be here. Then I got a message from Toshier, and she was like, they're talking about different stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. It's been a minute. So I was trying to explain to her a little bit of what Shiloh was, and she knew what Silver Bullet was, but she didn't know what Shiloh was. And y'all were talking about Shiloh yesterday. She was like, I don't even know what those words are. Are those abbreviations? I hate abbreviations. That's what she was saying. Yeah, that's funny. Hey, if you didn't lose, I mean, that's like taking partials. you know, it's not quite the win, but it's definitely not a loss. So yeah, I scrolled through it yesterday afternoon and just saw all of the trades being taken, and I was like, wow, it was a busy day. Yeah, further downside on the euro dollar. I think we give back a little bit and then we just continue. We break these lows and we continue down to this structure. It just looks bearish. If the news comes out negative towards the dollar and the dollar has to give up some of this, um, you know, I don't know if I would trust it to the long side. Man, I know, Fred. I wish I could. Unfortunately, I ended up taking on more responsibility. So I was slated to be creative writing, which is a related arts class, which is kind of like gym. it's it's pass fail. There's really no grades to it or whatsoever. And they needed an English teacher this year, just like they needed a science teacher last year because I went to the science position last year. So I told them I would take it. My daughter's in that class. No, not doing science, doing English, ELA. And the only thing that's positive about it is the fact that I'm actually certified to teach ELA. I mean, that's my degree. I've got a Bachelor of Arts in English. So that's my certification. That's my subject. So, but the expectations with that are a little bit higher too, right? And, nobody expected anything from me out of science because I never taught science before. But now it's like, well, you are an English teacher, so you should do good. Huh. Even though it's been 7 years since I've taught an English class. So we'll see how it goes. Yes, work is so overrated. Yeah, I think I'll enjoy it a little bit more this year than I did last year, just because it's back in the subject in which I get excited about it a little bit. So it's weird. But I'm also the type of guy that so kind of a weird fact about me is I like to break down sentences for some reason. Like I like to reposition words and use commas in different places and stuff. I like grammarian type of stuff. It's absolutely stupid. But for some reason, I don't know. When I was in college, there was actually a grammarian at Austin P, and she wanted me to be her graduate assistant, but I needed to get a job, so I couldn't stay. But yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. I love how authors and writers can just manipulate words and make you believe certain things, and you can change those words around, and it's have a different meaning, sometimes totally different, but really weird. Well, unfortunately, Kyle, I was trading 7 years ago, but still, still working. I wish that I had paid more attention to ICT's YouTube 5, 6 years ago because he's been around since about 2013, 2014. And I know he popped up on my uh, searches and stuff at times. So I wish I had actually dove into it. And I think one of the main reasons I didn't at the time was because it was so just thick with vocabulary I was not familiar with. And, his rants and stuff. I mean, they were 45, 50-minute videos when I needed a 10-minute video. So, have any of y'all actually been looking at gold and oil, or y'all just been sticking with the ES and stuff? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I've been kind of killing it with talking about gold and oil. Oil has been just pushing, and yesterday when I was doing the video, we were up in here. I was like, it seems bullish. Looks like it's going to be bullish. We break through, this, we're going to go higher. If we held off, then it's really going to come down to the trend line. If we break through the trend line, then we'll be bearish. If not, there's further highs. So, and that's exactly what ended up happening. We broke through that mean threshold and just continued, like crushed it. So, um, it's the same scenario today with oil. If we break back down through the median, then the trend line becomes the battleground. If we break through it, then I think we have a little bit of a bearish run, soaking up some liquidity. But I still think we're bullish on oil, and will continue back to the highs by the end of the day. Gotcha. Yeah. It's not that I've been trading them off. I've taken a couple small trades on it, but I haven't been trading them all that much. But I've really been paying attention to them. Just been putting them in like the daily forecast that I've been putting out. So, and I think I've gotten the way they move down pretty good. Um, so let me take this guy off. And I'm actually going to take this one off. I'm going to leave the 50 on. So let's see. I do. I do. Yeah. I got you, Fred. I understand. Yes, I do. With the like gold and oil and stuff, mainly because so I'm looking at them on higher time frames. It's not necessarily like a day trade. So I'm trying to find the overall direction in which these instruments are moving. And then once they kind of break through, like right in here, right? So if I put the 21 back up here, you're going to see, before I do it, you're going to see a retest of the 21. All right. The 21 is going to be right around in here, and it's going to retest the 21 before it breaks down, as you can see right there. All right. So that's the reason why I like to have the 21 on when I'm trading higher time, or at least looking at higher time frames, but especially with like gold. Oil has not respected these as much. Oil is basically a lot of just structure, um, support and resistance zones, um, you know, mean thresholds and stuff, taking out liquidity. Whereas gold really does kind of respect some of these moving averages. So the 50, just like the old Forex days, leave the 50 on, and then if it breaks down, if I get across the 21 and the 50, then it becomes patience, right, of coming back and stuff. So if you look at right here, so we get the cross and a breakout, breaking structure. We come back and we retest the 21, but also the 50 there. We just kind of hold, as you can see, we're holding. Holds that 21 just perfectly. Where does it touch when it breaks down through the 21? The 50. So that's the reason why I keep them on when I'm looking at gold. And so, and when I do Forex, um, same way, the 21 and the 50, just because they are, to me, they respect their structure, technical analysis way better than they do or just as good, not way better, as good as they do um, the moving averages. So and I started putting the moving averages on is because I started overthinking. I started overthinking the analysis. Like I could see both sides of every single trade. Like, well, it could go long here, but then you'd see all the reasons why it should go short. And then you started seeing all the reasons why it might be ranging. And then you started seeing all the reasons why you missed that trade. So uh I had to put something else on my chart to say, okay, push the button. And it ended up being really the 21 EMA. And then especially with the euro and stuff, the 50 was always nice. Dean, put me on the 50 a long time ago. And exactly, paralysis by analysis. You just start seeing everything. And when you look at the charts as much as I look at the charts, and you start seeing, you know, structure being taken and not respected, or fair value gaps being blown through, or run on liquidity not resulting in a bullish move. Well, why? Why didn't it result in a bullish move? And it's not because of the 21 EMA, but the 21 EMA would have kept me out of this trade. So just looking at this, I know I kind of jumped into it. So without these on there, I I love this run into liquidity, right? We're taking this structure out, and then we immediately reject it, and now we just kind of grind it back down, and then we get this impulsive move. I'm expecting bullishness here, right? I mean, it just looks bullish. And if you were to, go long at the top of that candle, looking for the median, putting your stop either below here or below here. Let's minimize my risk right here and just go 14, 15 things. Right, relative equal lows, double bottom, looking like we're going to get a little snap up. Maybe we do eventually come back down here, but the right now, like we're, if I'm looking at this with no other context to the left, right? You got buy side liquidity right here, and we've pulled back in, but this candle formation right here, right? We made this push up and then rejection down. This full on big candle came down, retested these lows, and then it was immediately rejected back up. Didn't displace, but then we grind it down. We don't give up that low, and then we get some slight displacement right there. Next candle comes in, right? This is still fairly bullish to me. And then I'm thinking we're probably going bullish, right? I'm anticipating this is probably me FOMOing into a trade, and why isn't it breaking out? And then you're basically stopped out, right? And then why isn't it breaking out? Because it just looks like right in here we are going to go, and we don't. So more than likely I'm trying to take a long there and I'm losing. And I'm definitely not thinking to go short because, we've already crushed all the way down here and we've taken lows, right? So I'm thinking this is going to be a return into this inefficiency and maybe even these highs, the daily, take out this buy side, at least the median. And we don't even break above these candles. So there's a lot of reasons why I shouldn't be in that trade too, right? But at some point I feel like I need to be taking a trade. So anyways, because of all that, because there was a lot of trades in which I was seeing setups happen that weren't coming to fruition, and then I started hesitating on a lot of trades and seeing both sides and being a little impatient and not waiting for the setup. I just decided to put the 21 back out there, and the 21 would have kept me out of that perfectly. If anything, 21 might have talked me into a short. But and I think it's just a visual reminder of the direction in which the price has been moving, right? Because look how separated those moving averages are also. The 21 is on my indices. Yes. So if you go, my futures, but yes, I would use them also on the SPY and stuff. The 21 would definitely be on there. I know it shows a 50 on there. I probably wouldn't use the 50 as much on like the NASDAQ. I mean, the NAS 100 and the SPX 500, but the 21 would definitely be on there. And again, it's just a visual reminder of to which way. And honestly, you put the 50 up there if you want to, just kind of show momentum. The further they're separated, the more momentum that's in that move. And you're wanting to see consolidation, so you're going to want to see them pull together. And then the breakouts, where they cross or they separate again. Things like I use moving averages so much early on that I'm very familiar with them, and I used the 8 and the 21 for so long, with a 50 on there as well, because I think there was a modification to the coach's strategy that I made that if the 50 was below, then I wasn't taking any shorts. If the 50 was above, I wasn't taking any longs. So it was one of those things that you play with it how you want, but with this, and the reason you're seeing moving averages on my charts now is basically keeping me from it. It's just showing me that, hey, reminder, this is the direction that everything's been going. or because it held the 21 here, you're probably still going in that direction, or because it didn't, it rejected the 21, you're probably looking at a reversal here. So it just takes my mind off of the other things that I keep seeing, and it's been very helpful. Because I don't think I can get the VWAP on here. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, you can. Huh. If I can use the VWAP on the indices, then I would rather use the VWAP on the indices. Yeah, it does. Guardrails. That's a good way to put it. So as you see the VWAP. And because I don't use volume, the VWAP is pretty solid. Kind of lets you know there's momentum, there's volume coming into the market when it's pulling up. And then obviously when it comes back down, it's very respected. Um, so, and I can toggle them on and off, right? So I can get an idea of what structure looks like without the bias of the moving averages. And then when I see patterns like this forming, knowing that we were in some type of a trend, and let's say we're up here and we're way up here and we're in a bullish trend, but I see patterns that are bearish, then I can put the moving average and the VWAP on, right, to tell me when those actually become bearish, right? So right in here. And then we had that huge move. So this can confirm like that sense of direction for me. And even though they didn't cross here, that's because I think we just kind of started a new day. Yeah, this is from one day to the next. So that's the reason why the VWAP had such a pretty good snap down in that one section right there. But the 21 is pretty solid. And you may find things like that you can add to your charts that that are good for you, but they might not be good for anyone else. Because I'm very familiar with moving averages and having them comfortable with them on my charts, and I can read with them on the charts, then they're good for me. I mean, you needed proof. If your target is the daily and it doesn't get there and it comes back and you're taking, partials and then you're getting stopped out, this is probably why. So you can set either another partial up here, take it all off, or, either way. If let's say you're in a short. And I never would have thought about putting the VWAP back on my charts in any way until I was watching Patrick Weiland quite a bit. He kept talking about it bouncing off the VWAP, blah, blah, and then it would. Talking about VWAP being right here, probably going to take it off because the VWAP's right there, but all this kind of crap. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there's something to that. So let me put the VWAP back on my chart and let's see what it looks like. And then I started seeing bounce, bounce, We don't really respect it all that much right in here, but now that, it just, you might miss the larger moves at times, but it'll probably keep you from, being able to get in. I never really understood. No, short answer. No, I've never used the anchored VWAP. I think I put it on the charts a couple of times. It was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Wow, look how price respects it. But I feel like you can manipulate that to make it really just exactly where you want to. Whereas this VWAP, I've done nothing to it but change the colors and taken the bands off. Like there is nothing changed on when it comes. Like when you click on indicators and you look for volume weighted average price and you click on that, it'll come and it'll look exactly like this with the green shaded bands. I think the blue line is yellow, might be. And then all I do, I go into the settings and I turn the bands off. And then I change this color from whatever the default is to blue, and I make it, usually I make it this, I make it the second thickness in the line. And that's it. That's all I do with it. The VWAP is exactly the way it is. It's the base of what it is. So, and I've never changed VWAP. So to use an anchored VWAP, you can anchor it to each day, which, each day when it opens up, the VWAP snaps all the way up to it anyways. But I know that you can anchor it to certain levels on a higher time frame, and it be like it would change this a little bit. Like say you anchored it to this bottom one. I could go into it, but it's been a long time since I've even thought about an anchored VWAP. But the short answer is no, I don't use it. Right. For swing trading. Yeah, if you're looking at a certain time frame. Ooh, just stick. Right. I'm trying to think who somebody in RLT uses it. I can't remember. I thought I nailed it, to be honest. I thought I nailed his name. um I can't remember who used it or who brought it up at RLT. But yeah. Or it might not have been RLT. It might have been the Trend Spider guy. You remember when RLT was they were promoting the Trend Spider? Yeah. Oh, okay. Was that him? Okay. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. There you go. We'll just call him that. Yeah. I knew they were when they were promoting the Trend Spider platform for quite a while, and he was the one that did the anchored. I mean, there's a good science behind it. I just because I don't, and it might be for a lot more for swing trading. That's probably the reason why I'm not big on it, because I've never really done a lot of swing trading. Done a little bit, but not a lot. But it's something to kind of to put out there if you wanted to. Oh, I guess Fred had to go. But it's something you can put out there if you want to, um, just to kind of give you another eye into, like, and once you have it on your chart for quite some time, you kind of have an idea of where it's going to be. That's like the 21 and the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. I can probably see it without it being on the chart. I have a good idea of where it's at and where they should be crossing at and whatever. The VWAP, on the other hand, sometimes I struggle to find it, so it's a good thing to kind of put it out there. But I think for the most part today we got a little bit of news. It doesn't come out till 10, so we'll have market open before any news comes out. Again, I really just think that this might be the high for at least I don't think we mess with that high today. I think we give back and then we grind in range a lot inside of what's already there from overnight. We could take out Asia lows. We could come all the way down into here, but then immediately come back up. So that's that. Those are my thoughts on today, with the ES, the NQ, and the dollar and stuff. Because I think tomorrow's the big day. So I don't see today being a huge trading day. I'm not saying that we can't trade and make money or whatever. Just be careful. Make sure the setups are exactly what you're looking for. And you're getting into the right setups and stuff. So, because today might just be a fluff day because of the funds rate coming out tomorrow. And then, tomorrow morning might be slow too. So, but I think unless we have y'all got any other questions? You want to talk about something? You want to see something I haven't shown or whatever? I think if not, um, that might be a good place to stop. All right, cool. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and we'll call it for the day. Again, be safe. I will try and be around the markets. It's PD day today, so I'm gonna have my tablet out. I'm gonna be looking at the market, so I'm gonna see what I can do. As much of what I can do. Uh, this is it's gonna be a little bit boring of a day, but we'll see. I'll see what I can do, and we'll holler at y'all later. Have a good rest of the day. Good night, Josh, and see y'all a little bit later.